Hey everyone, this is me George. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to talk about the death of the vanilla era, specifically how it's going to actually impact 2026 and 2027 and everything beyond, right? And you've probably noticed it too, right? Everywhere you look, perfect funnels, glossy pages, automations stacked for days, and still nobody is actually buying, right? There's so many coaches out there, and only 1% of coaches actually reaches 10,000, right? Only 1%, because again, most coaches they either focus on the wrong stuff most of the time, but still they still use outdated tactics, right? Which is of course, all these long form sales pages, or these beautifully crafted everywhere, like everywhere you look, there's just so many glossy pages, automation stuck for days, and still nobody's actually buying, right? It's like the whole internet is running on an old playbook, right? Pages get longer, buttons get brighter, or like, you change color because, you read somewhere that green is better than blue. It just makes people click it more, but results keep actually shrinking, right? And so in this video, I'm actually going to show you why the funnel era is dying and what actually converts in the big 2025, 2026, and above, right? So you can actually stop guessing and simplify and start scaling again. So again, that's what is happening. Everything, all of this is dying, right? All of this is dying. The funnel era is officially dead. I mean, it's been dead for a long time. It's just that matter of time before people actually realize it, and a lot of people have realized it as well. Funnels were built for a different kind of war, right? They were made for cold traffic, right? That's our keyword here. Where again, I'm still not saying that long form funnels and long form sales pages don't actually work. They still work, but for cold traffic, right? When people didn't know you, right? So you had to tell long stories, add social proof, handle objections step by step, right? But 2025, traffic isn't cold anymore. It's warm and fast. People find you through DMs, through ManyChat, story replies, not TikToks, right? I mean, let's just say that. Just say IG, right? IG, and they already know that who you are before they even hit your page. They don't need persuasion, they need clarity, right? That's what we need to focus here. That's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on clarity in your content. And here's the data. So across 300 low ticket pages this year, short pages, one or like two scrolls, right, converted 2 to 3.4 higher than long ones, right? Because attention spans actually collapsed. People decided emotionally in 10 seconds and justified and then justified later. Funnels were actually built for readers. We're now selling to scrollers, right? So this is, I mean, I'm not good at drawing, so this is the best I could come up with. So this is a 2016 funnel buyer, right? It's cold, needs to know, like, and trust the creator, the coach before buying. And this is the 2025 warm buyer, right? Again, he holds a phone, and so in his phone, he just basically knows the coach already. Yeah, I know this guy. I know what he does. I've seen his content. Short form content is blowing up lately. And you've done everything they told you to do, right? Free lead magnet, 7-day email nurture sequence, right? Webinar, follow-ups, everything, right? And yes, sales just feel random for you. And why? Like, why? And it's not that you're bad at marketing, right? It's that the game has changed and nobody actually updated the rules. So you were trained to over-explain when your audience just wants one clear path to result. Again, audience are followers, buyers, anybody so sophisticated today. They just need to be straight to the point. Just be straight to the point to them. Just tell them this is the ROI that you're getting. This is the transformation that you're getting, right? From buying. Here's a social proof. That's it. That's all they need to know. They need to trust you, to know you like that's literally it. That's how you actually leverage it to play with you, not against you. And so again, that's one of the reasons why you feel stuck. You're doing more than ever before, but it's not compounding. You're just spinning in the funnel hamster wheel. So you basically launch a new offer, you tweak it, based on data that you got, then you rebuild it again, you relaunch it, and you just get the same results because again, nobody's going to buy, or if your people are going to buy, most of them are just going to ignore it because it just relies on outdated tactics. As I said, again, it's just wait, let me actually find it. Yeah, so you over explain everything, right? The old funnel was kind of a linear mechanism, right? So the new model is what I call the clarity loop. So again, we have 4 steps here. Very simple. I'm going to explain them. I actually have a diagram here as well. So step 1 is the entry point, right? It starts with warm traffic, DMs, story replies, short clips, basically DM funnel. This is when you get someone to basically DM you, right? To your DMs. So this is what happens. This is the entry point, one of the most important. So step two is compressed page. So this is one scroll and call to action. So basically a single scroll, one promise, one call to action, and one price. They should know what you sell and why it matters before they blink. So what you do here is you create immediate clarity to them. Why are you here? Right? Why are they on this page? What are they getting? The clear ROI, the clear transformation. Social proof. All of this need to be in just one scroll, right? Step three is micro commitment. Here you go. So basically, that's the next. A logical, natural step, I would say, is to add a small order bump or a fast win. Get them to say yes once momentum follows, right? Because again, they said here yes, because again, it was very direct, very clear. They know what they're getting. You're not playing games with them. Then you're just adding an order bump. So an order bump, for those who don't know, is basically like at the end of the checkout page. I mean, once they on the checkout page, they just get something that complements the initial offer, and it's a very low ticket price, mostly like a 27 or like $19 item. I mean, again, it depends on the price of the initial. If it's like a $300 course that they're buying, the order bump is like a complimentary for the initial for the course. Basically, maybe like an one-on-one onboarding call with the coach for $37, right? So basically, this is what it is, right? Complements what they're buying, and so again, they just say yes. Again, 20% of people who end up on the checkout page actually get the order bump. I'm not very familiar with it. I mean, it's like 20 to like 18%, if I'm not like mistaken, from data that I have. And step four is to have a follow-up, right? So basically, this is the part that everybody skips. Email, DM, or automation that reactivates, retains, and ascends. That's what turns random one-off sales into predictable revenue loops. This is what you need to leverage, right? You're not convincing, you're confirming. You're not teaching, you're simplifying. And you're not pushing, you're guiding them, right? You're guiding them to the next natural step they need to take. And the backend is what keeps the whole loop spinning. That's the difference between spikes and predictability. So every marketing error runs on the same three laws. First of all, familiarity builds trust. People buy from who they recognize, who they trust, right? Warm content does the fastest, as fast as everyone else ever did. I mean, look, if you're trying to build trust, you should always focus on long-form content. Long-form content. I don't know what's happening with my mouse, but yeah. So basically, long form content is one of the best way to build connection, nurture, rapport, right? Trust with your audience as soon as possible. Because the more hours they consume of you, I mean, look, a Google study did that before somebody becomes a client. I mean, the chances of somebody becoming a client of yours is increased by every hour they consume of your content. So, for example, if they consume 7 hours of your content, it's like again seven. I mean, they need to consume like 7 hours of your content before they actually trust you or actually like uh, buy from you. I'm kind of butchered it because I kind of haven't looked into the study for a long time. But again, just focus on the 7 hours of content. That's what you need to remember. 7 hours of content is what your audience need to actually have. Your prospect needs to accomplish before they actually buy from you, which isn't that much. It's like 2-3 videos, right? Okay, not maybe like 5 videos, right? Uh, and so the second one is speed builds momentum. So the faster somebody actually understands, the faster they decide. So what's here is a key point, it's the clarity. Clarity beats persuasion every time. You need to be clear with them upfront, direct, straight to the point, and clarity converts. When people know what they're buying, they will stop hesitating. And so the backend just turns these three laws into systems. Trust is automation, momentum is the process, and clarity is the structure of your offer, of your systems. And that's where your funnels don't need to die, they just need to evolve, right? So this is the three marketing laws. Familiarity, trust, speed, momentum, and clarity conversion, right? This is, again, just remember these three laws. So before you spend another week rewriting copy or rebuilding automations, just simply ask yourself, can someone understand what I sell in 10 seconds or less? Because the businesses that make sense scale, right? The ones that confuse everything inside them just collapse. And so if you want me to take a look at your funnel and show exactly where the clarity is missing or what exactly is missing from your funnel, I'll do it free in 28 hours. It's basically a free loom. I will go over your top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and check out what exactly is working, what you need to improve on, what exactly you need to focus on, your messaging, your avatar, Of course, I do need that information, so you will have to provide me it. I will ask you about you some questions. Don't worry about that. Simple always wins, right? Just remember simplicity. Simplify everything in your offer, in your business, in how you run everything. So yeah, 2026, no, 2016 was the peak of persuasion funnels, right? 2020 was automation funnels. So 2025 and 2026 and above are clarity loops. It's all about clarity and trust. You know, we're in a trust economy right now. You should focus on building trust with your audience. And how do you build trust? Through just showing yourself, building that attractive character. Shout out to Russell Brunson. That's what will actually help you with building that trust. People need to see somebody who is just, it's like not the rest. I don't know how to put it in words. Like, the key word here is basically just be yourself, right? At the end of the day, just focus on something that's just going to kind of stand you out from the rest, from the crowd. And by that, most of the time, what works best for these type of situations is just basically being polarizing. You need to be polarizing in your own way, right? It can be through content, through what you're saying, through your views, perspective, right? Polarizing people will always have people following them because it's just so much easier to find um your crowd when you're just like polarizing, because you will always have people against you. So at the same time, if you have people against you, you will have people with you, right? You're not in the middle. You're not trying to be with everybody. You're trying to create your own group. And so that's why it's so important to just be polarizing. Just come up with something that will make it so much difficult for somebody to copy you. Because it's just your one thing that you're always talking about. It's your one thing that you're always, yapping about. Nobody can copy you. That's what I'm working on. It's a work in progress. It's just that you need to understand how the game works. And once you understand how the game works, it just comes down to time. How much time you put into it, right? Time will pay off. So you just need to be consistent with it. I don't know where I'm going on with this because I just kind of broke down a lot of stuff. So focus on polarity, being polarizing, right? Polarizing means finding your people, right? So if you find your people, that means that you will build trust with them because they share your views, right? They share your views. They trust you because you guys are in the same group, right? If you think of that, like human psychology. In the same group, that means that we share the same resources. So that's why they will most likely trust you more than any other random person. That's why you can convert them much faster. Convert faster, right? Hopefully that makes sense. I know that I'm not very good at explaining. That's my bad. I'm always trying to have this long ass form that kind of puts everything into a good structure for me to explain. But yeah, hopefully this was super valuable for you. If you liked it, copy. Actually, just like the video, don't copy. I don't know why I'm saying. Just comment down below like something, a question. I will check it out and hopefully reply to you. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. It was a pleasure making this one for you, and thank you for watching.